Hey guys, welcome back to another Paint, Paper and Pellets podcast. I'm here with Izzy, and today we're gonna talk about more marketing stuff. Last time we talked about social media marketing, which is by far the most marketing that we do, I think. But we also want to talk a little bit about about marketing outside of social media. I get there's a lot of people that don't really want to use social media in their marketing. And also, it's great to not only be um, like if you are totally focused on Instagram and then all of a sudden Instagram goes away or you lose your account for some reason, it's great to have also other things going. But first, before we start talking about this subject, we want to do something creative while talking. Izzy, what are you doing right now?
Well, last episode I told you guys that I branched out and started making handmade sketchbooks. So now I am just folding some paper and tearing some paper for new sketchbooks. And this time it will be a sketchbook solely for dry mediums like pencils, because the paper, and this is a new thing. The paper isn't that great. This is the paper. It's Gerstecker's number 3 aquarelle watercolor paper in 200 GSM. It's They say it's for watercolors, but it is so extremely bad. So this is a do not buy plug. Do not buy this if you are a watercolor artist because it's bad. But it's great for pencils and other dry mediums. I really like it. And even for print. I also like it for print
Yeah.
because of this texture. Yeah, it's really nice. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today. And what are you doing?
Well, I have this box next to me to start doing some ceramics, so I might work on some more of these little mushroom earring things. But also, I feel really tired, so I also have my crochet work, and maybe I'll just like crochet some granny squares or something.
Oh, that's such a mindful, relaxing.
Now, I'll decide what to do while drinking my tea.
Nice, nice.
Although
Like
I
the way
know
you
it's
think.
most likely gonna be crocheting. All right. So the topic of today, so the marketing for your small business, which is not social media.
Yes.
Um, there's a lot of things that we call marketing that might not fully be marketing, but actually it is. Like networking, for example, I think is a form of marketing. I
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of craft shows or like uh, conventions where I sell my stuff is also a form of marketing for me. Um, do you do anything like flyering or sending out emails or like any direct form of marketing?
No.
Have you ever had your paints on a billboard?
No, but I have I have sold. If you've been following me for a while, I've done a lot of charity work for our local wild bird shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I give them it's a fake check because in this digital world everything is it's not a real check. You don't have to cash it. But it's like a symbolic check
Mm-hmm.
with the amount I have sold, and I'm going to donate to them. And the first time I did this, I actually physically printed the check on foam board,
Mm-hmm.
and it's still to this day hanging in their like entrance.
Mm-hmm.
So it has my logo, what I do, and what I did to get the amount donated. And it is not a direct form of marketing, but because there are so many volunteers working there, I actually got that is actually how I met Roundbird Art, because she also is a charity worker there, and that is how she found me
Oh,
and how we got in contact and new collaborations started, and how I also got other Dutch customers. So
yeah.
it didn't start out as a form of marketing, but it did To this day, it acts as a marketing tool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I
It's really
also
good.
have a couple of times where I made work for someone, and it kind of turned into some sort of marketing. Of course, I made a giant mural that I made for
Oh
Flink where I
yeah,
worked.
that's
And
cool.
I guess nobody really outside of the hub saw it because I made it there and it was inside, and we had like the windows were made dark so people outside wouldn't be able to look inside. So
Mm-hmm.
the thing was inside of the hub. But I did have some people there that started following me and being interested in my work because of the mural that I did there.
See, it's the same thing.
And I also made some work for others, which I didn't get paid for. And I kind of want to talk about this a little bit. Unpaid artwork that you do for someone else in exchange for exposure.
Ooh.
I feel like that's a difficult one because it's something that gets used often, right? Some brand will contact some young artist and say, hey, if you make this for me, you're gonna get exposure. And I feel like sometimes it can really work well, but more often than not, it's a terrible idea.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because most likely you will have to make something in their style, so it's not going to be your own style, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not going to be something you want to be known for.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, secondly, it's often they are not able to find you because you said like the little foam board that you printed had your Instagram name and your
Yeah,
logo on
and my
it,
logo and everything.
and then it's really easy to find you. But
Yeah,
if you make like a piece of art for someone for free, most likely they're gonna use it in some sort of way, and not always it's gonna show your Instagram tag or it's gonna show your name. And if it doesn't show your name, it's not exposure.
exactly. And I have a tip about that. If a brand is contacting you and be like, "Hey, we can promote your work if you are promoting our new product. This is our new product. Some new, I don't know, some new pencils. Can you create artwork and post it, and then you'll get exposure? Blah blah blah." Those are, and then they set their terms. Uh, 3 posts this month, this amount of story, and maybe this reel. But people forget that you are allowed to set terms as well.
Mm-hmm.
You can accept the offer and give them your terms in exchange. Yes, I can do that, but I want my Instagram handle to be on my own artwork. I want my name on my own artwork and everything. And most likely, these brands will be okay with that.
Yeah, if it's a serious brand that's
If
not
it's a
just
serious brand,
if it's not just looking to use you,
yes.
then they will be happy to discuss your terms.
Yes, exactly. And you can even a lot of people don't, but you can definitely, it is your right to even ask for a price, ask for money.
Hmm. I actually find this really difficult because I know that people ask for prices for this stuff, but I have no idea where to start. And maybe it's not really a big problem for me right now because I don't get that many emails with brands that work together with me. I got two and I turned them both down because the offer they made was so bad that I felt like there was no possibility negotiating a reasonable price. And
Mm-hmm.
also, I don't know if I told you about this, but I wasn't. I didn't want to work together with these brands
Mm-hmm.
because they were kind of greenwashing and not having a good reputation and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I don't know where to start with pricing. And if at some point I have more experience with pricing, with doing collaborations and stuff, I'm definitely going to share about it because I don't know where to find like this information. I don't know what other people ask for posts. it's I think it varies a lot between different following, also how active your account is or how
Yes.
active your following is. Like I feel it differs a lot, and maybe that's why I can't really find any information. Do you know anything about this?
I've been contacted by a lot of different brands, but because I'm a paint maker, I feel that I don't fit these brands because usually these brands are, for example, um, I don't want to say their names because I do not want to promote them on our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a company. It's a Dutch company who sells iPad accessories for artists,
Mm-hmm.
and I was contacted by them, and felt like it didn't fit. It was a personal email, by the way. It wasn't like a robot, because God, the amount of robot emails I get to work with them, and then they end up being a black woman owned sports fashion thing. I great that you are a black woman in business, but why are you contacting an artist? But anyway, uh, I felt that it didn't fit me because I'm a paint maker, and when do you ever see me with my iPad? Only when I am creating a new logo, or I'm making like artwork labels for the new collection that I'm making. So it doesn't. It's usually the serious brands who are contacting me. I don't feel that it would fit me. If
Mm-hmm.
by any luck in the world, for example, if Gerstecker would contact me about a collaboration with one of their pigments, sure, that would fit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but in terms of price per post, price per whatever, I have no clue.
No, I got offered once. They wanted me to make two Instagram posts about their product and to show it in a YouTube video. And they offered me like 30 euros of their products.
What? No.
Yes. So of course I said no. I was like, this is not even an offer. What are you
That's
talking
not
about?
even an offer. That's just giving away your freebies
Mm-hmm.
and expecting a lot of for in return. I actually did that once. I had a company who makes uh, headphones,
Mm-hmm.
headphone speakers. I did a post for them once because it was in my early days of being an artist, not even a paint maker. I was still an artist, or I am still an artist, but you know what I mean. Um, and they were emailing me about, and I got free headphones, and I could choose which headphones. So I chose pink ones, in ear pink ones, and they were super cute. The quality was actually not that bad. It was pretty good. uh, I did the post, they reshared, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried making the post like, oh, whenever I'm in public painting, I want to cancel out the world. These headphones are awesome, blah, 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 blah. But after I've done that, I was like, nah, I'm never going to do that again because it doesn't
It doesn't feel
fit.
right.
It doesn't feel right. It was great as a first time, and it was the first time a company sent me a free product. And that's the thing. They lure you in. That is their marketing technique, right? They lure you in with the promise of a free product.
Yeah,
Um,
but then you don't even want that free product, or
but
it's
you
not
don't want
actually
that
right for you.
exactly. And I think that's the same thing with. I have brand ambassadors who I send free products,
Mm-hmm.
like test paints or sneak peeks, and usually they are not. Sometimes they're like full pans, other times they're like half filled pans, just for them to play with, get their opinion, because I really value their opinion. And then they have like a promo code they can share, that if they use their code, the people get a discount and blah blah blah. But sometimes I'm like, is free product enough?
Mm-hmm.
Because they are worth, the art that they make is worth a lot more. But then on the other hand, I don't set terms to them like you have to post this amount of times a month and it has to be look like this and it should be a post and it should be a reel or it should be. They're very free in whatever they do, so maybe
Hmm.
it balanced that out.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting because, of course, now we're talking about posting on social media and collaborations with like other brands, and charging prices for that. But it can also be like, maybe somebody asks you to do a demonstration at the market. And then they're like, "Oh, and it's great for you because you get exposure. You'll be there, painting and doing a demo, um, and then the people who see your work there will know who you are." Um, or it can be like, I've seen artists doing demos for art supply brands. So there would be a National Sketching Day, and Winsor and Newton would pay some artists to do demos in the store where they sell Winsor and Newton. And stuff like that. I think that can be great because they're seeing you as an artist, they're seeing your work, you have the personal connection.
Yeah.
And it can even be better when you're, of course, with the Winsor and Newton person, she probably got the paints for free, at least, I think. I don't know if she got paid or what was going on there. But you might, sometimes when you have something like that, you might be that Winsor and Newton person, and that's something you have to think about it before you start to uh, accept stuff like that. When you're working with a company, it means that your name gets connected to the company. And the more work you do for that company,
Yeah.
the more people will associate you with that company.
That company.
Um, so that's definitely what you were talking about with the headphones or with
Yeah.
the thing. You didn't really want to be connected to, hey, Izzy is that painter that always wears that brand.
Those headphones.
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't want that. Plus, I don't think that a product like that would fit my brand.
Mm-hmm.
If for it would make a lot more sense if I was like the face of a certain brand who makes palette knives,
Mm-hmm.
that would make a lot more sense than headphones. So that was
Yeah.
also my issue. Also, I think circling back to what you were saying about going to a market and then do like a demonstration of certain products, I would actually love that. But, and here's the but, I would also set my own terms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would love to maybe do a demonstration of certain papers, but then I would also love the opportunity to sell the papers, but also use that time to sell my own products.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think, because if you, every company has their own interest as a priority, right? So they work a lot of with a lot of artists because the artists can promote, quote unquote promote, their own pieces at that kind of demonstration while using their products,
Mm-hmm.
and that is fine. But what if the artists like to use other paints? For example, you are the face of Winsor and Newton. Winsor Newton is a great brand, but what if you are going to a market and then suddenly you are promoting Holbein paints? Are you allowed, or is it okay for you, for your own brand as an artist?
Mm-hmm.
Do you still feel the freedom of trying other brands? That is also a
Yeah,
thing to think about.
definitely.
Because we as artists always like to use everything everywhere all at once.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are, for example, use Ecoline inks from Royal Talents, are you stuck with only using Royal Talents?
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
the question
sometimes
that I have.
And sometimes it's better to see if you can attend the art market and do something that you would like to promote.
Yeah,
And you possibly have to pay for the table and stuff.
of
Uh,
course, of
but
course.
yeah, it's always there's always a price. Either you're paying with like you are promoting them, or you are paying for the table and you can promote whatever you want.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I do think that art markets in general, like also just attending art markets yourself and
Mm-hmm.
learning from it, selling your work, trying to see how to present yourself best is a great
Mm-hmm.
learning experience. And I think that's a great way of marketing outside of
Social
Instagram,
media. Yeah,
outside of social media, because
that
I
is one
feel
of the.
like
No, you go. Go.
because I feel like whenever I go to an art market, of course I want to sell, I want to earn money, but
Mm-hmm.
I need to keep in mind that I'm mostly there for people to see me, for people to get to know me, for networking, and for me to like earn people's trust, so that
Yeah.
at some point later on they will recognize me and they will come back and maybe they'll buy.
No, exactly, and that is one of the things I want to do next year,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe the year after that. I'm not really sure, but I want to do just like you, stand on creative markets, like maybe Swan Market or conventions like Crea Do is coming, I think. Um, Mainly for getting to know another public, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because we forget that it's a certain generation that is always active on social media,
Mm-hmm.
but you're missing out on the older generation. You know, I don't want to say housewives because I'm a housewife, uh, but like the older generation artists who are coming to these conventions and markets to find nifty hobby products, you know, the grandmothers who don't have social media but love to paint. That is a whole new public that I would like to reach, not only for, you know, the sales, but to learn what their interests are. Do they maybe only like natural pigments, natural ingredients? Yeah, I think I really like to, and just like you say, just like you said, the what did you say? Connecting with people.
Mm-hmm. And I also think that that market that shows up on like these creative markets might be people who really want to buy like locally, and they
Yeah,
want to support the businesses here.
yeah,
And of course, it's great if you can get some regulars in your area that will come to you for their art supplies, or to you
yes,
for their art if you're an
yes,
artist selling artworks.
definitely. Mm-hmm.
Um, that's great, and that also leads to that maybe you're trying to sell your art on social media and you see that it's not working, and you just keep going and keep going, but maybe social media is not the right platform for you to sell your work. It can be that your work works very well on a fantasy festival.
Exactly.
And then, if you go to a fantasy festival and find your people who like your art, maybe they will pick up your business card and go to your website and buy there. Or they'll go to your social media and follow you there. But you never would have found them if you just only stayed on social media and only was reliant on this platform to boost your post, even though the algorithm says that nobody likes your post.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, that's something what I really like. And to be honest, art markets can be really a hit or miss. And most of the time, it's not going to be worth monetarily. Like, if you're looking pure at money, it's probably not going to be worth the work that you put into it.
No, because you have to your time plus table uh, is worth a lot more probably than what you sell.
Yeah, and then you already also have like the whole preparation stuff, and you're
Yes.
probably gonna like products are gonna get damaged because people are picking it up, so you can't sell everything that you have. You have to get some previews that are never going to be sold.
Yeah.
Um,
Theft. Don't forget about
theft.
theft. My God. Have you ever got something stolen at a convention or market?
Not that I know. Not that I know.
Ooh, not that you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't really noticed anything
Okay,
like
good.
missing. So, but it's definitely possible. I heard about last time on Comic Con a whole sword getting stolen. Um, I heard about like hand painted skateboards getting stolen.
Yeah.
Because when it's very busy and you have like on Comic Con you have 40,000 people on the
Mm-hmm.
convention,
Mm-hmm.
and they often like if you have stock under your table and it's visible that you have stock under your table, they usually pretend that they're dropping something and then they're stealing something
Go on
from
your
under
table.
your table.
Yeah. I heard about a maker that she she sells pins,
Mm-hmm.
and the presentation pins, right?
Yeah,
They just got stolen.
the whole
No, like you have your little board and all your pins, and then they just take one pin and then put
oh
it in their
yeah.
pocket. It's so stupid. My God.
It's really annoying. Of course it comes with like a lot of risicos.
Yes, of course. But still, I think yeah. Okay.
Okay. You know what art markets also are really great for, and maybe another topic that we can jump into ours? It's networking. I feel like networking is one of the most important things for artists to do because
I'm very bad at networking.
if you know people, if you talk to people, like you're gonna learn a lot. That's one of the things. But they can also be the people who introduce you to new opportunities.
That's
Um,
true.
and of course, what you're already doing with me and Zoe is a form of networking.
Yeah, that's true. But uh, yeah, hmm. People may not notice this about me, but I am very quickly tired of people.
Mm-hmm.
And if yeah, how do you say, like if we're really connecting like you, I, and Zoe do, I won't get tired of you. But it's just the whole networking itself, the whole
Mm-hmm.
social thing. It really drains my energy, and this is why I don't put a lot of work in networking other than around social media.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I
when we were planning to meet, I was really excited, but I also got some people, like local people, who asked me, "So hey, can I please come over and pick up my order?" And I'm sure, of course, because then it saves PostNL charges and another package going out. So of course you can pick it up, but then I'm always like nervous and I don't really feel like it, and I actually don't want to talk to you. So please
mm-hmm.
pick up your stuff and go. And it sounds really harsh, but socially, for the networking, I am just very bad at that.
I try to do a lot of networking. I go to quite a lot of artists sketching groups,
Yeah,
and
you do that, and I think that's lovely.
I always try to, when I'm at an art market, I try to take my time to walk around and talk to some artists and like get to know them,
Mm,
maybe like make connections. But I am actually very a overthinking person, so always when I get back home, I'm just like laying depressed on bed, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm such an idiot. I made and I'm so embarrassing. I was in this awkward situation. Um, I feel like I'm forcing myself between two people to do like networking stuff, and I think it's very awkward.
Yeah.
But I do realize that probably a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. I don't know. I'm very bad at networking in real life. Maybe because in my previous job, I always had this fake smile for the managers, saying what they want to hear. That's a different kind of networking, and I'm just tired of that.
I
And
can imagine.
yeah, so this is why because I wanted to go to markets the previous year, and then I decided not to do it because my son is still very young. So I felt like it wasn't the correct time to do this. But next year, I'm seeing you at conventions, or yeah, seeing you on social media, and I'm seeing other creatives on conventions, and they all seem to one have a really great time. So maybe it's just my anxiety that thinks that's energy draining. They really feel tired but fulfilled after a convention, and then they do it again. Sometimes even in another country, and I'm like, okay, this is really it's really interesting to see to follow along these people at conventions and seeing them having a great time, and then afterwards seeing all the reshared posts, because people will share what they bought on social media, and then
That's a
these
lot of
make
fun.
yeah these makers will reshare it, and then they tag every single artist, and I'm like, oh my god, then you find other new artists to follow along. So yeah, even though I don't like the networking, I think I'm actually going to do it next year, even if it's just one market, at least to try out and see how I feel about it.
Yeah, it is what I talked about earlier, a hit or miss. So some markets
Yeah.
will be really draining, and some markets will be really fulfilling. Um, when I've had a good, fun market, I will come back home and be really tired, of course. But then, like the week after, I feel like really energized to make new products, to try out new things, to like uh, experiment more with my work.
Yeah, so like
And
tired but inspired.
mhm.
Mm.
And if I have a really bad market, I just wanna lay in bed for a whole week and not do anything anymore. But
Aww.
there's like in the beginning, I'm not sure why, but my first few markets all were really bad,
Oh.
and of course that was probably partly because of the presentation, that I didn't really know how to do my table presentation. But I don't know, the first 3 or 4 markets, I didn't even get my table out of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the money, and people would just be like walking past my table and not even looking at the work that I had.
Mm.
But the last few markets were really good, but I'm not sure why this is like this.
Mm.
So I don't know. If you do go to markets, definitely give it a couple of markets a try, just to
Okay.
see,
Okay.
because there's a possibility that your first market will be rather
Bad.
difficult.
Yeah.
And it
Okay.
also really
Okay.
depends on the vibe of the people around you. If you have people
Uh.
standing next to you that are really positive, it's a great time and you get to know these people, and that's a part of networking. But if the people next to you are really negative the whole day, it gets really difficult.
That's what I'm afraid of. Maybe I can just ignore. If that happens, maybe I can just ignore them.
We'll just go to an art show together, and then we share a table, and then it's always going to be fun.
Oh, that I would love that. I think it would also reduce my anxiety and stress about it if we would do that together. I think we talked about it before, right? To do that
Yeah.
together. Maybe we just should.
Yeah,
Maybe we should just do that.
we can still do that.
Yeah.
Looking at my list about everything that's not social media and marketing.
Yeah.
How important, I know this is something that a lot of people struggle with, but how important is your website?
Oh, my website is very, very important to me. My website is very important to me because, first of all, I stress about it a lot because I know what it's like to go to a website and you cannot find what you're looking for. If
Mm-hmm.
you are posting something on social media, it should be very easily to find it on your website. So I'm always rearranging my website to be relatable to my social media so that new product, like for example, new products are always on top, always ready to go, very clear menu, so people don't have to click a lot before they know what they will find. Uh, Blog posts with interesting topics that I talk about. Um have cohesive pictures and uh, I want them in and out of my shop as quick as possible. I don't want them to linger, put something in their basket, leave it there. You know, that's also a marketing thing. The emails that my Shopify sends out, if someone puts something in the basket, starts the ordering process, and then leaves the shop.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like, hey, you still have items in your shop. Those kinds of emails you will get from me. Um, so yeah, I spend a lot of time perfecting my website, and it also has changed a lot over the years. Different color usage, more descriptive descriptions on my posts, so it's easy to find on Google. Um, yeah, that's those are the things I do to lure to get people to go to my website.
So the thing what I think is really important about having a website is that if you send your website to a customer, you have full control over what your website looks like. So
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be the most accurate online representation of your brand.
Exactly.
Like all the social media out there will have like a standard format of how the profile looks so that people can always easily find everything.
Yeah.
But your website is going to be like so personal, your personal colors, um, and you can put everything there that's important to you.
Yeah.
So if you want to have like a lot of promotion for a online course that you made, you can put it like on the front of your website so
Yeah.
people see it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to make like more marketing towards your web shop, you can have like stuff that shows when your next shop update is or something.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good way to uh, whenever you hand out a business card or something, it should have your website on it. Whenever you talk to a customer via email, you should have your website in your email.
Yeah.
Um, you should just be easy to find. If you Google your name or your artist name, you should find your web shop or your
Yeah.
website.
At least.
Hmm.
Um, do you use? Do you still have your Etsy shop?
Yeah, I do still have my Etsy shop. I actually have my Etsy shop as a way of marketing.
Exactly. That's what
Um,
I want to talk about.
because so my own web shop is cheaper than my Etsy shop
Mine too.
because Etsy has a lot of extra costs and it's just impossible to get the same price on your own website and on your Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Etsy has a really it's like a search engine.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
I when I sold a lot on Etsy, I felt like a lot of people that were looking for Christmas gifts and stuff found my ceramic palettes and
Yep.
then went to my Etsy, found my Instagram, went to my Instagram, followed me there. And I think Etsy is a great way to get people to follow you. I don't use it that much anymore because I don't sell my palettes on Etsy anymore. But I do have my stickers there. It's just another way for some people to find me.
Exactly. Yeah, I do the same thing. I think I said it on another podcast. I recently secretly relaunched my Etsy shop again when I changed my logo,
Mm-hmm.
purely for the great search optimization they have.
Yeah.
Someone can look for handmade watercolors and get all the different makers on one go, and they can just add the colors they want from different makers, and they pay just once. They don't
Yeah.
have to go to my website or to their website or the other website to make um, different purchases. They can all do it in one go. And since I launched it, I actually got new customers who are first they bought something on my Etsy, and then they saw my website and was like, "Oh, I like this color too. That is not available on your Etsy. I will buy that too."
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, it is more expensive because after I put the listings on, I immediately got an email with what you have to pay for the listings, and then you sold something, and then just because you sold something, there's another hidden fee and blah blah blah. I got immediately hit in the face by that, but the fact that I got new customers from it is worth the little extra
Mm-hmm.
fee I have to pay. So
Yeah.
that's also another great way to market yourself outside of social media.
And of course, you can do the same with like Redbubble and Society 6 and all those kind of print on demand sites. Is if
Yeah,
you post your work there and people find you through those sites, it's a way of marketing where you're using the built-in um, search machine that those sites are using. So if you're not having your own social media or you think you want to do something else next to your social media, those sites can be great to look into towards.
yeah. I recently also started, and this is a little crossover to social media. Um, Pinterest.
Mm-hmm.
There are actually a lot of people who are still using Pinterest. Like my mother, for example, she's looking for amigurumi crochet inspiration. And now I am actually pinning my blog posts on Pinterest, and then they link to my blog posts on my website.
Yeah,
So that's also a great way.
that's great. I also want to get more into Pinterest because I feel like Pinterest will be a great way to market my earrings.
Oh yes.
Um, but I haven't figured out how to pin from Instagram yet.
No, I haven't figured out that either.
So I think I'm gonna do something on my website and then pin from my website. So they'll
Yeah,
find my website instead of my Instagram.
exactly.
But I'll have to figure out how that's possible. And also, I don't really know how people like find my pins. I get that there's an algorithm or something, but
Yeah,
I don't have any idea how Pinterest works.
yeah. You should get. There are a lot of different blogs that talk about that, and it's very interesting. Um,
I'll have to do some more research into that.
if you have another, I don't feel like doing anything today moment, and you're just lying in bed, read about read about the Pinterest things.
Okay, great. I'll do that later today.
Yeah. My other question is, we've talked about other than social media marketing, but it's still very digital, and except the market things.
Hmm.
Do you do any old school marketing like flyers in supermarkets or flyers into people's post boxes?
I guess I don't, but I can imagine if I were to make like a course or if I were to start doing physical lessons, I
Yes.
might do something like that. And I'll probably mostly do it in the form of when I am at an art market, I'll give away the flyers
Mm-hmm.
or I'll put them in orders. And I'll also probably put them in orders when I sell online on my web shop. Uh, so if for example I have an online course that I sell, I might make a flyer and put it in the orders that go into my web shop. So when those people open up their orders, they have like the little package that I made, my business cards, and a flyer for my online course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't really done that so far, but I can definitely imagine doing that. I don't think I would go walk around the block and put it into like people's houses. How do you say
Yeah.
it? I wouldn't do that type of flyering, I think.
No, we now have a sticker that says no, no, so
Hmm.
we don't get that stuff. But my mom didn't used to have that sticker, and we get all these kinds of flyers. But it makes sense, for like massages or shoe repair or those kinds of things. Or they
Yeah,
just opened up,
your local
uh,
pizza shop.
yeah, your local pizza shop, that those kinds of things. But I've never seen a small business artist related. I never seen that anything other than exactly what you say for like the local drawing school,
Hmm.
or teach drawing to kids. Those flyers we had, but yeah, exactly like you say. If I ever will do like a course, a face-to-face course about handmade watercolors or just pigments in general, or like a demonstration, I would definitely put up some flyers. And but I also won't do the flyers in your post office in your post box thing.
I can imagine I've heard some paint makers that have like collaborations with local shops that the local shop sells the paint in that shop.
That
Uh,
is something I still want to do, but I don't it's really hard to find a shop like that
mhm.
that would like to do it. That we
and
have we
and
have our
also you
local.
still need to have like your because the prices have to be a lot higher
Yeah, and
to be yeah.
I don't know how to price them then, because I don't know what is fair to the shop that puts my paint there.
Hmm.
So that is, yeah, that is a thing. But our local postal service shop has, it's like they sell cigarettes and magazines, but they
Hmm.
also sell gifts. So they sell like scented candles in like a cute pack with a candle holder, and I don't know, maybe a card.
Hmm.
But I was like, maybe it's also interesting to ask them because paints can be very cute to gift.
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, maybe I'm just scared. Maybe it's just the anxiety talking. Maybe I should just ask.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know about those shops. I do know there are some here in Tilburg that have like the shops are fully made to feature small artists
Yeah,
or
like
small
Swan
businesses.
Market.
Yeah, like the Swan Market.
Yeah.
They also have their own.
They also have physical shops. Yeah.
Mhm. They also have physical shops. And what I wanted to say about the flyering thing, I can imagine that if you have your stuff in a physical shop somewhere, that maybe you'll give out flyers for free so that people who go there and don't know if they want to buy your stuff, they can take a flyer.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that make total sense.
And maybe I even would go so far as make a flyer with a paint dot on it. Or do you think that people would just grab a whole pile of flyers then?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what I think will happen. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe if there, because we did, of course, the collaboration where you made the paint dots and I sold on my web shop, and I would include like a little paint dot from your from your paints, which
Yeah.
is a great way to market because you're marketing through my
Yep.
orders, and I'm getting to give my customers something for free. So
Something
it works.
extra.
Yeah, so it works great
It
for both
works
of
both
us.
ways. Yeah. I also had a while the Meet the Artist thing some years ago, where I would put other artists or other makers pieces into my orders as well.
Mhm.
I want to reintroduce that because that is how it started. The marketing without social media. Uh, I want to reintroduce that, but it is hard Because first of all, I don't want people to just randomly send me their products just so they can have free marketing.
Mm-hmm. You also want
Uh,
to really enjoy the product. You want to
I
know the
really want to
person yeah.
exactly. So, for example, if I don't know, it's too expensive to put in for free. But for example, if you would have like cute earrings, the stud earrings, so not the dangly
Mm-hmm.
things. If you ever made those, I would first of all not ask you to send me that for free. I would first of all just buy them from you and maybe figure out a price and then put it in a box, instead of, hey, send me your stuff and I will I will put it in a box,
Mm-hmm.
because then you get a lot of no, not garbage, but you get a lot of brands that expect me to put it in the box, but maybe it's not the quality that I would like to give my customers.
But I do think that's another point that we haven't talked in this podcast a lot, but we have talked in the podcast about collaborations.
Yes.
If maybe you are not that focused on social media, but you have an artist friend who is more focused on social media, maybe you can do some sort of collaboration.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't mean message big influencer persons, message big artists and ask them to collaborate because they don't know you. And they are probably not even going to answer. Ask people that you know, that you have a connection with, and that you really want to work together with,
Yeah.
and find a way to collaborate that's beneficial for both of you. Um, what would be really fun if you have art friends and you really like each other's work? You can maybe do like art trade. You could do like a little grab bag trade. You give each other some stickers, you give each other some prints, and then you can do an unboxing on, like, if you do social media, you can do an unboxing on social media. But like something like that, collaborations is a great way to market.
Yes, but be honest and don't expect them to post about it. I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of people, when you send someone stuff, a lot of people immediately expect them to post about it, but that's not the case. For example, I have a great friend in the UK. She has a lot of followers, and I sometimes send her stuff just because she is my friend. But I always tell her, I don't expect you to post about it. She does post about it, uh, but she doesn't have to. And I think when the pressure is off of posting, your connection with this person and your friendship will actually grow and be, in the end, will be more beneficial to both.
Yeah, I actually gave Artistic Faun, is she called? I gave her a pair of mod earrings because she
Oh,
really, really likes
cute.
dangly earrings. And I
Mm-hmm.
was just like, okay, these are my first earrings. Do you want to try them out for me? I know you'd like a pair of these earrings. Just pick one out. And she picked out the mod earrings. But of course, I didn't ask her to post it. Like, I just wanted her to have these fun earrings and have fun with them. And then she did post them. And the same day, like a little bit later, I sold these. I still have to send them out.
Oh, they're
But
cute.
I sold these little foxes.
Yeah.
And I really think it's because of that she posted them.
Oh, that's amazing. That is so sweet. See, it's just good
And I
karma,
didn't,
guys. Good
yeah, I
karma.
didn't give them to her to post, but it
No,
worked out that
exactly.
way.
And I love that. It's just when it all goes natural without any force, I think it's better for everyone.
So, we talked about a lot of different things. I think there are many more ways to market yourself
Oh,
and to
definitely.
let yourself be seen is the most important thing, I guess. Uh, if you have any great tips, you, the listener, if you have any great tips about marketing without social media, definitely post them in the comments so that other
Hmm.
people can read and so that we can read and we can learn from it.
Yay!
And I hope this was helpful in some way.
Do we have time to tell them about our little summer stop?
we do have time to tell them about our little summer stop. So these 2 posts will be both uploaded in August. So when you see it, this might not be a summer stop anymore. It will be an autumn stop. But we are going to take a little break from the podcast in order to film some more podcasts before we start up again. So we might be gone for a month or so, something like that, or a month and a half. And we'll be right back in time for Halloween.
Halloween! Ooh, I'm really excited. Maybe I'm gonna decorate my studio because it looks fun on the podcast.
That would be great. I have a small decoration in the form of my landscape art.
Your
right
pretty
now.
painting.
Right.
Okay, guys.
Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you after our little podcast break.
See you then. Happy
Bye-bye.
Halloween. Bye.